Sometimes you're going to want to know if a table exists prior to continuing on with execution. And I have some tables here that are already kind of created. You can see here, this one is called My Tables. So let's say that we want to determine if this table exists, we may want to clear it, or we may want to do something with it, like or perform an operation that'll add information to it. Or if it doesn't exist, we may want to create it. So in this case, we're just going to say we're going to look at our table exists function. In this case, we're going to use the table exists bool function. And what this will do is this is asking for basically the name of a table. So my table is the name of that first table that is right here, as you can see. And we're just going to do an existence check on this. Now, there's several ways to kind of write this out. You could write this to another worksheet, or you could use a register variable. A register variable is basically a temporary piece of information within the nitrocell execution process. If you write to another worksheet, then the expectation is that you're going to have another worksheet execute based on that information. A register variable can basically be interpreted inline execution within an execution worksheet. You cannot write content to the same worksheet as a target. So, for example, if I said I wanted to write this to this table exists worksheet, it's not going to work very well at all because the state of the worksheet is already been in process. So as a test, I'm going to use a register variable, register, and we're going to create a variable on the fly, and we'll call this table exists. Okay, now to evaluate that, we can use a simple if statement. This is a nitrocell if statement. We'll say if table exists, then we want to do something else. We're going to do something else. So in this particular case, let's just do a let's say a stop alert, or let's do a stop alert, and we'll say found the table. And if not, we're going to say table does not exist. Okay, so so when we run this, you'll notice here that it come back and it says, "Hey, I found the table." That's because that has written this to this variable. That variable is being evaluated by this logic, and it's come back and said it exists. So if we if we let's go clear the table here. So let's copy this down and let's do a table. Actually, let's just delete the table. So we'll delete that table, and when we run it this time, we'll still get our found the table. But if we look here, that logic has been triggered to remove it. So the next time we run this, it should say table does not exist. So that's basically how the function works and how you would kind of use it in the context of application logic in an execute worksheet.